All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having a great morning this July 3rd, this beautiful Wednesday. So let's see what the market has for us today. Hope everyone is preparing for Independence Day as well as we get ready to fire up this Wednesday morning. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good. Good morning, Carlos. You doing all right?
Doing good. Yes, doing good. All
All
right,
right.
guys. So let's get into it as usual. See our gappers list off the bat seems very light this morning. Kind of expected with the week that we're going into. Obviously, a big holiday week here in the U.S. So a lot of people off on vacation, starting their stuff really early. Their plans on vacationing. Norm, I know you're going on vacation starting this week as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, this will be my last day until a week from Monday. So
Excellent, man. Enjoy. Definitely.
need a little time to recharge. So
Yes, that is always good. Time to recharge the batteries and take some time off from the market, just like a real job, guys. I mean, you definitely gotta disconnect. This is not easy work. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Here's our watches from yesterday. We had quite a bit on here when we started our pre-market show. I was able to get a few out of the way, at least the ones that looked a little bit better than the other ones, and let's see how they played out. So first, starting off with TIGR. TIGR, again, this one was gapping down quite a bit. Was pretty flat. Didn't really like the pre-market action that much, but the open was actually pretty clean. It had a nice little drop here. What I didn't like about TIGR is although now it looks great on the 5-minute, has a beautiful downtrend. This price action was not clean. It was the volume was just not there. It was very light on volume, and the price action was not smooth. The time in sales didn't look like it had a lot of movement. But if you got in a good short anywhere in here or in this area for opening range breakdown, you had say your stop loss slightly above this moving average here. You could have had a really nice drop. But again, it was not easy to trade because around this area, it just seemed like it was hesitating. I was watching the price action very closely on this one, and it really didn't do a great movement there. But again, turned out to be a pretty nice short all the way down to these levels. So again, just a very nice trade here. Next, we have AMRN. This one also did not start very well, very choppy. I know a lot of traders try to take this one during this time frame, but again, it's just look at this action now. Look at the 1 minute as well. You got some a doji here, which really doesn't tell you much. The only indication you have is this candle here, so you can't take that for a reversal. Just a clean indecision. You have another one here as well. Then you have, look at this. How do you plan for this, right? You have a pop and then engulfs right back down. So again, just very difficult open on AMRN. Once it settled above VWAP, this is finally when it got some wings here. It took off. I think Andrew took a trade on this one as well. Broke the high of the day and just went on this beautiful trend trade after this mess here. So this was messy, but then look at this beautiful trend trade, just hitting these moving averages nicely and taking off. So we always tell people, always be careful with the 9. The 9 always gets broken. The 20 is the one you got to worry about once you have a good cushion on here. Let's say you have an entry around here for a VWAP breakout. You can clearly see how it rises to 9 and then breaks the 9 here, then rises bounces off the 20 and goes back to the 9. So that's very common. We see that a lot. So if you're in this type of trade, don't focus too much on the 9. Once you have a nice cushion, focus on the break of the 20 because we see that quite often. Let's go over to AMD. AMD was just brutal. I mean, look at this chart here. Again, just did not trade well. Has the volume as always, right? Great volume. But look at this. Sells off, comes right back up. Next candle pops up, sells right back down. Again, just not clean at all. Very difficult to trade. Unless you caught the bottom or the top of this, right? If you caught the top over here, this could have been a nice drop. But overall, it's just not clean trading on AMD. It did finally settle in a little later in the day, puts in a nice double bottom here. This is a clean double bottom, a very clean level here at 30, around 30, 80 that I didn't want to break. And then you can see here finally sets out and it hits the high of the day. But again, just very rough open for AMD. Actually, I took off MU from my list, and MU traded a little bit better once it settled in. Here's Tesla, guys, and I just want to say now, if you haven't seen Williams' recap, definitely check it out. He had a beautiful trade on Tesla. He recorded his live trade, and you can see, some discipline in there. Possible FOMO of fear of missing, getting filled. So again, just a lot that goes on through that trade. So definitely check it out. It was very entertaining for me. I was sweating for him while watching that trade. But again, it was very interesting and exciting, and I'm glad it worked out. But again, that just shows you if you have a good plan and you stick to it, it can definitely pay off. So And again, this is a game, guys. Really, this is a game of probabilities. And I want to say it's a game because it's not a game. It's very serious. But that's what it is. It's all about probabilities. So, if you have your probabilities to always hit, a ratio of risk to reward from 3 to 1 or 2 to 1, and you stick to that, if you have a winning strategy and even if you're 50% right, you're going to be profitable, and that's what shows. William yesterday showed that very clearly. He was confident in his strategy. If he's 50% right doing that, he's gonna be profitable. So again, Tesla broke down very nicely. Beautiful sell-off, beautiful pullback here. Then it leaves VWAP. This is a great entry. Anywhere in here, whether you got it on this candle or this one, just a beautiful entry for the low of the day. Cracks that easily and then heads right down to this level. So again, just a beautiful downtrend. Rise to 9. Moving average all the way down here. Here happens again, guys. We just talked about this, right? Breaks the 9. Once you have a nice cushion, breaks the 9, hits the 20, and then continues on to get on the 9 again. So this happens quite often towards the top and the bottom. Here's Roku. Roku had a pretty rough start as well. Right here, it's very choppy. It looks like it's about to do a beautiful open range breakdown on this candle, but then it does drop, but it bounces right back up. Now notice here, we talk about this in class. If you did not take this trade, you don't have any bias during this time. You're just kind of waiting for a setup. You clearly start seeing higher highs, higher lows happening here. I mean, this is very clean, showing that the buyers are pushing this up. They don't want it to sell any lower. And then once it goes above VWAP and these moving averages, this could have been a great entry. Say your stop loss below VWAP. If you got in before that, right, you could even say your stop loss at a new low, new 5-minute low. You hear Andrew talk about that a lot. Once the candle's a new 5-minute low, then your setup might not be ready to reverse. Doesn't look back after that, guys. Just again, rise down the 9 moving average, and then one more time here, guys. We just talked about this in the last 3 trades, right? Another one here where it comes down, tests the 20, and then comes back on the 9. So again, just a beautiful trade on Roku towards the long side after you got away from this choppiness at the open. ADP was horrible, guys. I had this on my list, but it just did not trade well. The volume wasn't there, though. You had a nice spike in volume on the first candle. Then after that, it really died down. And the price action, again, just not clean at all. Then it goes into this chop. So really not tradable. RBZ here, again, it had okay pre-market action volume-wise. It looked like it was going to do something, but at the open, it just really turned into trash, guys. I mean, it just pops up, sells down, and then look at these candles here. Once you start seeing this type of candles and then no volume, again, it's just turned into crap. So not really a great stock for yesterday. All right, folks, so that is what we have from our watch list yesterday. Let's talk about some news, Norm. What do we have going on? I know it's probably pretty light today on the news front.
Yeah, overall, it really is.
I think we just lost Norm because I saw his name disappeared. So we'll give him a few seconds to hop back in. In the meantime, let's look at our scanners. So let's start looking at our Gapper scanners over here, and we can get back to the news after we go over the Gappers list. So we have Tesla here again. Let's go back. Let's go up here on Tesla. So Tesla sold off. This was the beautiful trade that William took yesterday for a day trade, and then today is popping up 7%. I mean, that's a nice little pop here on Tesla. So it's funny, guys. I don't know if you guys remember, if you saw the show yesterday, we talked about this. The daily was setting up in a way that it was kind of building this triangle here, this wedge or triangle, however you want to call it. But again, you saw that building up, right? It's just had this clear resistance here, and then a beautiful pop here on the daily chart now, up 6.8%. It's got some good volume. Again, hard to expect that because, again, look at the sell-off right yesterday. So you didn't expect it was going to pop like this, but again, it ended up really strong during the after hours, and you can see today it's got some good volume. Pre-market action not looking too great, not too clean right now. But Tesla is definitely going to be in place up a bit, and it's got some really nice volume here, 357. BTI is next on our list. So BTI, it is, yep, Norm, looks like I got you now.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
I don't know what of that you caught.
We just caught just a little bit in the front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish the gappers, and then we'll get to the news.
Yep.
So here we have BTI up 2%, 115,000 shares. Look at this daily, though. The daily is horrible. We know this stock is a foreign stock. Again, doesn't trade well. So again, not one that's going to be on my watch list today. And then here we have CGC. CGC is down 3.7 with some really good volume. Daily chart also looks very interesting. You have some nice support level here that we lost. Price action is right on it, so we dropped down about $2, right? 36 here. So this is nice, down 3.9. It's got some good action. And then the next support, we have some good support we could find here. We have another one right in here. We got several days testing this as support. So again, I think the CGC's got some good volume here. Any news on CGC today, Norm, that's causing this drop?
Yeah, their co-CEO was forced to resign last night. So he was actually on CNBC being interviewed about it this morning. So that's what's pushing that down. And then there's a couple of other pot stocks that are actually moving on that news. OGI, one of them. He was just in that interview with CNBC. He mentioned that he thought that was an up and coming pot company.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so definitely we need a little more volume on this one. Pre-market action not as clean as CGC. Obviously, CGC is one of the most popular ones and trades very well for a pot stock. And you can see here has a very clean pre-market action. So interesting to see what this one's going to do today. Definitely in play, guys. Has a lot of volume and it's down on some right at support right now. So let's see what it does by the time we get closer to 9:30. Tesla. So we know I got a message here on YouTube that Tesla delivered more cars than expected. Okay, that's good because again, they've been dropping so much. I think after this big drop, it can only go up at this point, right? I mean, it's been hammered all the way down to 380. This thing was trading around 350. So it's good news for them here, popping up very nicely with a good pre-market action. And it's funny, the technicals, even although that's the news, right, what caused this pop, the technicals, I was talking earlier, Norm, that the technicals were showing that this thing was kind of setting up for a pop, right? Just on the daily, we had a really good support resistance here. We had a just kind of like a triangle building up here, so it looked like it was just getting ready for a pop. And with that news, definitely was setting up nicely to make this happen today. All right, let's look at the Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. So SLS, what do we have here? Penny stock, we'll skip that. FCL, another penny stock on the move, 5.5 million shares traded. This one is definitely got some action here, guys. So you know, this is this one actually we traded this one in the past. I recall, but it
was much higher priced when we did.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, why is this a penny stock? Because I remember the ticker. Now what's the float on this? FCEL. All right, so it's 27, so it's a smaller cap. My issue now is that once it goes under $1, you know, it could be difficult to trade. Some of the strategies that we apply to regular small caps that are like 30 or so, mid caps, you know, they don't apply to these type of stocks. But this one is not. This one's traded at a higher price before. Again, I don't know. You know what? For entertainment, we'll put it down here, but it's not one that I'm gonna be inclined to trade because again, it's gone to the dark side here once it goes under $1, right? So this is just not our niche. SYMC, which is Symantec here, it is up.
Definitely inflated that.
15%. Why is this not popping up here? Maybe the ATR.
ATR is only 48 cents on it.
Okay, so it's slightly just missing it by the ATR, but yeah, 4.1 million shares, up 15%. Norm, what's the news on this one today?
It's a rumored buyout by AVGO Broadcom.
Okay. So yeah.
So AVGO will also be in play.
Yeah, let's put AVGO.
It should hit our scanners. Yeah, it should hit our scanners pretty soon.
Excellent. So AVGO, a little higher price, 87,000 shares traded so far. So it doesn't have quite the volume there yet. But daily, obviously the one that's this one is dropping down 4.2, most likely the one that's buying or the one that's taking a hit on this. Okay, so Symantec here is up quite a bit. Some good news for them. 15%, guys. Some serious volume. 4.2 million shares traded so far. So again, a lot of volume. The one thing I don't like about this one today is that the volume is not creating a great pre-market action, right? We were starting to see that. It's a lot of, although you have some good volume here, 4.2 million shares traded. We're not getting that nice flow right now, right? It's very flat, I want to say, and I know you're saying how can this be flat when it's kind of going down a little bit. Well, we've seen how a good stock, like let's look at Tesla. Tesla has a better pre-market action with a lot less volume, right? Because you have a nice flow too. You got some good candles, some good bodies in here. This is great. This doesn't have a great pre-market action just yet, but it will be in place just because the share volume is just insane. So good to have that one on the list. AVGO pretty flat at the moment, higher price. I'm probably not going to watch this one, but we'll keep it on here, see what develops out of this. Let's go back to our Nasdaq active list. XSPA, also a penny stock, doesn't look like it's doing much right now. Look at this pop it had about a week ago. It's just crazy. Pops up to $4. So it's a former runner if it gets the volume. Right now it has some decent volume, 540,000 shares traded. Just want to check what the flow is. 1.1 million shares flow. So again, this is just way too low flow. I'm gonna skip this. If the low flow team wants to watch it today, this looks like it's a possible one to watch. It's got some decent volume. It's a former runner, but again, just be very careful managing your risk. SINT penny stock trading at 10 cents. We'll skip that. Volatility index should be pretty much flat. Yep, so pretty much flat today. Tesla we have on our list. AMD traded horrible yesterday at the open. Here we have a pre-market action that's not doing much, less volume than yesterday, and just pretty flat at the moment. So we'll skip that one for now. SESN not doing anything really, a penny stock. Let's go over to Nasdaq gainers. OSS not doing much, no volume. AIHS nothing going on. SXTZ nothing. This one we have. SPA also not. This one actually we looked at earlier. This is the low flow stock, 1 million shares flow. It's got some volume. Daily chart shows it's a former runner, guys. You can see here, but again, I mean, it's just, this is scary. 60 million shares, and look at the pop. It just kind of tells you how many times this thing doubled up and over its actual float. So again, just be careful with that one. RETO, no volume. Tesla we have. IDEX, same situation. OG is one of the pot stocks that's got some activity right now. Daily doesn't look too great in this area. It's been very choppy, but the good thing about this is that it's stuck within this range, right? If we can break out of this range, it already broke out of it once, hit 7, came back down. If at the open it can break out of this and head back to 7, it's a possibility towards the high of the pre-market. So that's a good thing here. So although this is chop here, it looks like it's trying to possibly break out of this, and then it looks like for the most part this trade's very clean. I haven't looked at OG before on our watch list, but for the most part it looks like it has a good trading daily chart here, so several very clean levels. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Heading back down, the last one here, AQMS, no volume, nothing going on. Norm, so let's get to some of the news. I know it's pretty light today. Before you got disconnected, you were kind of going into it.
It is pretty light. SPY's up just over 1/3% right now. Pretty light volume. As far as economic data, it's kind of condensed into this morning since there's no Thursday. ADP private employment came out at 102,000 for June, which is a bump over the previous month, but it's still not real strong. For new jobs. Weekly jobless claims came in essentially in line with expectations. And then there's a couple of other pieces of economic data coming out at 9:45. There's PMI, 10 o'clock. There's factory orders and ISM non-manufacturing, which could move things. You never know. We're trying to see what's going on and how this trade war might or might not be affecting the economy. Some of those things might... Some of those pieces of data might give us a hint, so it might move things, especially if we're on lighter trading volume today. A little bit of a catalyst could move things a little bit more. So just something to keep in mind around 9:45 and 10 o'clock Eastern. And that's about it I've got for today. Market closes at 1 p.m., obviously, Eastern time, and close tomorrow. So
excellent.
You want to... I'm a little behind. You want to do announcements now, or you want to come back in a little bit?
No, yeah. Let's run right through the announcements. That sounds good.
All right. We'll start off with some strong stuff here. At lunchtime, noon Eastern, in the classroom. Be sure you understand it's the classroom. We'll have scanners up, live trades in here in the chat. But at noon Eastern in the chat room or in the classroom, you, Carlos, my man, are going to be doing one of our Wednesday workshop series for an hour on trading rules. So join Carlos over there and ask questions away and see what he's got to say on that topic. I know a lot of us chimed in on some of our individual rules, and Carlos is using that.
Yes.
Like I said, the market is closed tomorrow, closes at 1 p.m. today. This coming Saturday, July 6th, Vancouver meetup. Go see Andrew. I'm guessing Brian will probably be there. Robert may be there. I'm not quite sure. We have our independent sale going on for lifetime memberships, 30% off. ABL has posted links up top if you're on a monthly or a trial membership and would like to go for the monthly. That expires, I believe, on Sunday. Don't hold me 100% to that. Can you, Carlos? Can you confirm that? I think it's Sunday.
Yeah, I believe it's Sunday, but I'm not 100% sure neither.
Okay. And then July 26th, we are going to have world-renowned author and trading psychologist who is actually a trader himself in the room Friday, July 26th, Dr. Brett Steenbarger to talk to us about trading psychology. I think that is all.
Yep.
If I'm missing something, let me know, Carlos.
Yep, I think that's everything, and Abio just confirmed that yes, it is Sunday. So yep, we're good to go. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Let's see what you guys have on your end. You guys have anything that looks exciting that we have not gone over? So this is what we have so far. Before we get into the level of support and resistance, let's look at what you guys have. We can also take a look at AMD. MU, some of our buddies, see what they're doing this morning. I know AMD looked horrible. Let's see what MU is doing. What else we have? AVGO we have on the list. We'll go into details on that one. AMRN. All right, we'll take a look at this. Whoops. One mute. Okay, and then we have Disney. We'll take a look at Disney. All right, I see somebody mentioning EA. We'll look at EA, see what's going on there. The FCEL we have down here. Again, lower float, so we'll be careful with that one, but we'll look at that in detail. And then let's look at pins. All right, perfect, guys. Let's go through this list. Let's see what we have. So let's start with we left off with MU here. So MU daily chart looks pretty much ended up flat yesterday. Kind of got a doji on the daily chart here. Not much activity yesterday, but it did trade yesterday though. It did trade well after it settled in. Look at this nice beautiful drop, leaving the low of the day here, dropping down, following this 9 moving average, and then finding a beautiful bottom. Right, if you're trading around noontime, if you're looking for these type of setups, look at this double bottom here, then all the moving average towards the bottom, and it takes off nicely. So that was nice to see on MU yesterday. Today pretty much flat, regular typical open for MU, low volume. AMRN, as we can see here, not much going on. Let's take a look at the daily, see what's happening. Again, yesterday was definitely in play. Today's going to depend if people want to have any type of continuation, any type of profit taking that can move this one way or the other. But again, typically after a move like this, you tend to have that, but it'll depend how the markets are going to be today as well. Again, things could be very, very slow today, given the situation with the holiday. Disney had a great day yesterday. Let's see what it's doing now. Now it's pretty much flat and no volume, guys. So Disney not doing much. If we look at the daily, again, had a nice little pop here. Again, you also have a nice formation building up on the daily here. You got some clear resistance here that's making higher highs, higher low on the daily. And then you can have a possible pop here, and also you have a nice moving level over here, 143, that you can try to get to. So daily looks nice, but the pre-market action right now is non-existent, guys. There's really no volume on there. EA has great daily. EA is actually gapping up 1.1. That's a beautiful, nice pop here on the daily, but right now it's just no volume at all. So we'll look for this one to hit our scanners. PINS, same situation. The daily doesn't look as great. This is actually pretty flat. Not a great daily chart at the moment. Looks very choppy. And again, just no sign of any type of breakouts forming here. And then the volume is just not there right now. But doesn't mean that it cannot be a good ones to watch later on in the day. So so if you have space in your watch list, you could definitely throw those on there. MRK. Let's look at MRK.
Mark just doesn't have any volume. It's up 0.25% with less than 2,000 shares traded.
Yeah, so
which isn't uncommon for Merck.
Yeah,
I mean, it really doesn't trade much pre-market.
Yeah, so it's one of those stocks, a nicey stock as well. I see what you like here. The daily chart looks very nice. You also are reaching a level of resistance here around 86 bucks. But again, just no volume, no indication if this stock is going to be in play or not today. But again, the daily does look interesting for a possible breakout towards these highs that we hit a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, 86.48. So I see what you like there, but right now, not much going on in regards to this this volume. All right, guys, let's go through this list. Let's make it a little smaller. Let's see what's in play. So Tesla, for sure, I like the volume, 414, up 6.7. Let's get some levels in here. High of the pre-market will be 242 on the dot. High of the pre-market at the moment. Towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market seems to be at 239 on the dot as well. So we'll mark that. We also have, what do we have down here? Oops, 239. Hold on a second. Let me mark that right here. 239. Okay, low of this. Actually, no, this is another level here. 236.88, guys. 236.88. You have several days supporting the action right here. 239 is actually where the price action is right now, right in here. Slightly above that, so you can mark that down, 239. But 236, guys, you can see several days using that as support right here, these 2 days. Then towards the bottom, you got plenty. I'm not going to add any more towards the bottom. You got the highs from 2 days ago, the highs from yesterday, previous day close, moving averages, previous day close. Just tons of stuff in here already. If it can break out, it's 242.10. So 242 is the high of the pre-market. If it can break out of that, you have a very good level up here around 250. Again, that's a ways to go. After a nice pop like it had now, I don't think you'll get there. But just mark that level just in case we could be surprised. 250-ish or so. If it can break out this 242, could be the next possible level for Tesla. Again, that's the stretch. I don't think we'll get there. And there could be a lot of profit taken today as well with this stock. So be on the lookout for that. Have no bias. See what the stock is going to give you once it opens up. CGC dropped here. It was down. Wow, this thing was down 3.4, 3.8 almost when I saw it earlier. Now it's back up. Looks like it wants to do a red to green move. So see what's going on here. Let's get some levels. So we have a very clean level here around 38, 36. You have 2 days testing this as support, one here and one here. Then at 39, around 39 or so, 39.06, you have another day testing this as support as well. Right now it's hitting some levels of resistance already that we have in here. Previous day highs, previous day close, the highs and low from yesterday. You have a moving average coming in as well. So don't need to add any more within this area. If this thing is really strong, I mean, already recovered all the way from 36.50 all the way up here. If it's really strong, we can get going and possibly hit this 41.62. Again, that's going to have to be a strong move because you have a lot of resistance in this area here. So it'll take a lot to break through that, I think. And then towards the bottom, we have the low of the pre-market at 36.51. I don't think it wants to go back there to see any of that because just the move that it's making now. Gonna go back in here and see what else we have. We have any kind of clean level between 36 and where the price action is now. Doesn't look like we have any clean daily levels with between 36 and the low of the pre-market. So we'll leave it as is. I'm sorry, 36 and 38. So we'll leave that as is. Looks like it's being very strong right now. Might want to go red to green here, guys. So this will be interesting. And it got some good volume. 888,000 shares traded already. OGI, also a pot stock today. Looking at the daily, it doesn't look as clean as CGC, but it has had some movement here. It has gone up all the way up to 7. Above this, if we can break through 7 or get back to 7, still will be a good move. You have another one at 745. At 7 also, you have this beautiful moving average right on there, so it can go back up and test that. Hopefully, it's got to get through some resistance here, those guys, because it's been stuck in this range around 670 or so. You got the 2 highs from yesterday and the day before, and then towards the bottom you have a moving average, the low from yesterday, previous day close, and low from yesterday as well. So again, just plenty of levels within here. We just got to see which way it wants to break out, if it can get going one way or the other. Towards the bottom, if it can break the low of the day, 615, you clearly have several days testing that as support here, 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 and also here. And then 615 is probably 6, yeah, around 602 or so will be the next level for OGI. Again, right now pre-market action not looking too great. It needs more volume, right? So that's the one thing holding this thing back from getting going here. So I might drop this one off and just keep CGC. SYMC, it's got great volume, guys. Almost 5 million shares, up 14.4. Pre-market action is getting a little better. Earlier when we saw it was around this area here. It's just kind of looking very choppy, not clean. when the volume is starting to come in, it's starting to get better. Still not as clean as I would like to see it for that type of volume. But again, just look at this daily here. So this could be good today to trade. It definitely is in play. So we have a 26.50 high of the pre-market. Low of the pre-market sitting at around right where the price action is at now, actually 25.28. So let's see if we're going to break that or head lower. If we're gonna break that or bounce below that. If we break this low at the moment, you have a very nice level of possible support. As you know, guys, resistance can become support. 24.75. You have several days banging their heads in this 24.75 before they cannot break through and head back down. So that could be an area as well. And if we break that that 24.75, I'm assuming probably 24 is going to be, yeah, I can see clearly 24 is going to be your next level. If you zoom in here, just want to give you a closer look. If we go right in here, you can see how we're bouncing from this 24.75, and we're using this 24 as support. Right, couldn't get back up here, couldn't make a new high. Then once we drop that 24, hell breaks loose, and we're dropping down to these moving averages. So again, let's see what it does here, guys. Looks like it's people are probably going to be taking profit this morning, so be on the lookout for that. But again, don't just be short biased, because we know what happens. Brian tells us all the time, you know, he hates shorting strong stock, and right now, this morning, this is a really strong stock, up 14.5%. AVGO is the one that's buying, rumors of buying probably SYMC. So at the moment, these guys don't have a great pre-market action. Volume is not really there. It is a higher price stock, so that's the reason why I am going to remove it from my list. But if this is your style and if it hits our scanners, definitely be on the lookout for that. AMD here, guys. So AMD right now is just probably one of the worst pre-market actions we've seen from AMD in a very long time. No volume, pretty flat. And I say no volume, you're like, Carlos, what are you talking about? This has 265,000 shares. Well, for AMD, that's not a lot, right? So we know this stock pretty well. This can do easily 700,000 shares at the pre-market when it's really active. Today's got 265, but the daily looks good though. The daily has a nice little areas of support and resistance here. It looks like it's been holding this previous day close as it was support. Before resistance and support, so it's right above that, so that makes it a little bit interesting. Let's mark some levels just in case. We have our high of the pre-market 31.57. Don't need to add anything towards the bottom because you got the previous day close, previous day highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and you have some moving averages coming in here as well. So we'll see if it can break out of this range and head for that 32, or if we can sell off from this previous day close and head down towards these lows over here from the last 2 days. So on the fence on this one, I might take this one off. It depends how the rest look that we're going to look at next. MU, same situation. It's one of our buddies. We know they're going to get the volume, but are they going to trade well? Yesterday, the morning was very brutal. It did sell off, finally had a nice little downtrend, and it came back up and it closed pretty much flat. Today, not much activity, and it's kind of stuck within these ranges right above the previous day close. You have the high from yesterday, you got the low from yesterday towards the bottom, and then you have several levels here, high from 2 days ago and the low from 2 days ago, right where the price action is now, really, the low from 2 days ago. So plenty of levels within MU here. We can mark down this one towards the top just to have an area of possible resistance at 40.53, and then towards the bottom, I'm going to mark down this moving average I have here at 38.59. Not going to keep MU on the list today, guys. Again, it just doesn't look very active. I know they might get the volume, but I will look for them to hit our scanners on a total breakup to a breakdown. Next we have AMRN. Okay, we're getting some activity out of this one now, selling off here, 183,000 shares at the moment. Not a clean pre-market action though, guys. I mean, again, we might get some continuation, some profit taken out of this one. You know, let's prepare some levels just in case, but most likely I'm not going to keep this one. Low of the pre-market at 22.11. It looks like it might want to crack that now. If it can lose that, very nice clean level here around 20.98, and above this we have another one here at 21.52. So very nice levels towards the bottom. Don't need to add any more, because then after these you run into the highs and lows from the last 2 days. Then towards the top, if we can get red to green here, which is possible, we have a level right at 22.79, which is the high of the pre-market, 22.80 to be exact. All right, guys, so that's what we have on AMRN. Again, just not a clean pre-market action, needs more volume. I do like the daily chart. I think we can possibly get a continuation move out of here, but again, just right now the volume is not there. Disney, again, beautiful daily chart here, guys. Looks like it's wedging up and it's trying to break out of these possible resistant areas, but just the volume is not there. We do have a level at 143.54. Put that down in your chart in case we get some unexpected volume out of Disney at the open. We can tune into that, but right now I'm going to remove it from this list here. EA, same situation, guys. Very nice big pop here, and they haven't been up here since April, so that's nice. We have a the price action sitting right almost slightly below this level here, 104. Above that, we have a nice level here at 104.61. So again, just it's got a really good daily. Been very strong over the last couple of days after profit taking, bottoming out here below these moving average, and then getting above them and kind of riding them up. So interesting. Towards the bottom, you got the levels previous day close, the highs and low from the last 2 days. So I don't need to add any more. Don't make this more congested than what it is. I'm going to remove it, guys, just because, again, the volume is just not there. But this could be a great possible for later in the morning. Just reminder, it is a half day today, so expect the stocks to have volume and then die down even faster than usual, right? Usually, if a stock is in play, you can see it throughout the entire day, all the way to 11:30, probably sometimes even up to noon. Today might not be the case. Today, things might dry up a little faster than they normally do, so be aware of that. So pins here, no activity. I'm going to remove this one. And FCEL. Wow, it's very active. It's got a very clean pre-market action. If this was not, trading at under a buck, I would be so interested in this one because it is a higher float. We have traded in the past. It does trade clean based on my experience. But again, the fact that it's trading under $5, under $1, it makes me just stay away from it. So I'm going to watch it here just for entertainment purposes, but not one that I'm going to trade, guys. If you do decide to trade this one, the most important thing on any type of trading is your risk management. So make sure you keep that intact. Yes, I do have short for Tesla, guys. Yeah, you should be able to have short for Tesla. That's a very good stock to be able to short. If you don't, you definitely gotta check with your broker. All right, guys. So this is what we have: AMD, Tesla, CGC, OG, SYMC. SYMC is doing a nice little drop here. So yeah, this is getting better now. See, now we're starting to get a good pre-market action out of this. This is what I want to see. I want to see this volume create some movement, and now we're getting it. So perfect. All right. What else we have? AMD here is good. Well, not good. This is flat. Not much going on here. And AMRN, again, just not great. How much I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is perfect. Norm, anything you like on your end besides what we have here?
No, I'm not even a fan of my 4 usual suspects this morning, really. I like their dailies, but there's just no volume. So I'm gonna trade very carefully today, if at all. Gotcha. Sit back and see what's given to us.
Gotcha. It makes sense. Yes.
Dan's asking about British Tobacco, BTI. We already looked at that on the gappers. It's a foreign company and doesn't trade well, Dan.
BTI. Yep. Yeah, BTI. Yeah, it's a foreign company. Yeah, my mistake, guys. I do not have shorts on Tesla. Sorry about that. Yep. You guys are correct. There's no shorts for Tesla. So BTI. Which weird though, we do eventually sometimes do get shorts for Tesla, so you got to be on the lookout for that. And also, sometimes this happens. They'll say you don't have shorts, and when you try to send an order, you might be surprised. You might get filled. So if you see something like that, send the order. See if you get filled for it. Sometimes you might not. Sometimes you can. All right. All right, guys. Anything else? Anything else that looks good? I think this will be it for now. Good morning, Brian. How you doing? Brian will be on. He'll take a look at his list. Let's see what else we have going on. Let's see if MU is getting any better. Let's look at Roku. What's Roku up to? You got anything out of
garbage this morning?
Garbage this morning. All right, guys. So,
which isn't uncommon. Isn't uncommon for Roku.
No, it's not. Actually, when was it? Yesterday, right? Yesterday they had was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember exactly, but they had a horrible pre-market action and traded very well, so that's not common. Someone mentioned XSPA. This one here, again, it's got some volume, guys, but again, the pre-market activity is not looking great. It is a former runner, but this is a very low flow. This is 1.95 million shares. So again, very low flow, guys. Be very careful trading this one today. AVGO, I took it off because this is a higher price stock. This is the one that's purchasing SYMC. But the issue is SYMC has a nicer pre-market action. So I like the way this is trading here. If you look at AVGO, at the moment, their pre-market, it's starting to get a little better now. We didn't have this little pop we got going on over here. So it's starting to get some activity. But overall, their pre-market action is not looking as great as SYMC. So be on the lookout for it. I think we did do our levels for that, right? AVGO. Oh, we did not. Let's do some levels for it, just in case. I'm not personally going to trade it. I'm going to watch SYMC instead. But in case you want to trade this one, because it could possibly in play today, could possibly give you something. Low of the pre-market, 281.50-ish. High of the pre-market, 286. Kind of within these moving averages right now. Just kind of stuck within here. Can break either way. And then we have a high over here at 289.17. You can mark that down. And towards the bottom, in case we lose that low, we have a very nice pre-market, level here at 277.84. You got several days testing this this area here, as well as these days here. So again, this one could be a possible, but I don't like the pre-market action too much right now. It's trying to get going here. We got some volume coming in, but we need this volume to be consistent, probably hopefully above 26K per candle, and you can get a nice little movement out of this in the pre-market. Does not mean that at the open this thing cannot take off and give you some good trading, but I think SYMC is the one to definitely watch today. And again, guys, this type of stock don't have any bias. This thing is up 13.5, so obviously it's very strong. Selling off right now because people are probably taking some profits. But don't be short bias. You can, a squeeze here can come very fast if people feel that this thing can go higher. So wait for the setup to happen, get a good risk to reward, and plan your trade accordingly. Signs pointing to drop at the open. Could be that it can drop. We have a nice bounce here of 24.75. And we had this is the level we had from over here, right? Over here, these 2 days were acting as resistance here and here. So it's bouncing right from that now. So we'll see, guys. Anything can happen. It's down now from being up to 26.45. But again, don't go in there with a bias saying, hey, it's going to keep dropping, go short. If you feel that way, wait for a pullback. Wait for a pullback to VWAP. Give yourself the best possible risk to reward if you're if you're going to take that trade.
Morning, Brian.
Hey, Brian, good morning. Brian's, check your mic. You might be muted.
Heard him for a second. Maybe he muted himself.
All right, folks. So thank you for joining us on YouTube, guys. Here's our watch list at the moment. Brian is going to come on in a few seconds and go over his watch list, and I'll adjust mine accordingly. Then Andrew will be on after that with his watch list, and then we'll see what we can get out of today. So trade safe, guys. If I don't talk to you later today, we'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great Independence Day holiday, and I'll see you guys on Friday at 30 Eastern time.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Trade safe, and I'll see you in about a week now.
Oh, that's right. And we won't hear it from Norm sometime. So, Norm, enjoy your vacation, man. We look forward to having you back and hearing all the good stuff.
Thank you, man. Brian, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing okay.